High-flying stunts, new tricks, and the debut of exciting trucks like Sparkle Smash are coming to this year's Monster Jam at the North Charleston Coliseum. Well, here to share more on what happens beyond the action in the arena, let's welcome Cody Saucier, driver of Dragon and a 2019 All-Star champion. Good to have you with us, Cody.
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
Yeah, so what can fans expect from this year's Monster Jam Arena Championship Series East? That's quite the title.
I'm excited. Expect just that. Expect the unexpected. There's no script to this stuff. This is heads up racing. This is high flying. I mean, as America as it gets when Monster Jam comes to town. Actually, I made my driving debut driving the Dragon truck, which I currently drive in Charleston in 2022, I believe. So
is that
it's good to be back. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Okay, so speaking of sparkles, I had mentioned earlier, Sparkle Smash. Who drives this car? Because you do have a couple of female drivers. So I want to hear a little bit more about some of the folks that you're going to be driving alongside with.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the Sparkle Smash truck, it's the newest truck on the circuit. And I tell you what, the little guys and gals that support that thing, it's becoming hugely popular.
Well, I want to hear about your story too. And first, why don't you tell us a bit more about Dragon? So does this one breathe fire? How is it different from some of the other vehicles out there?
Absolutely. So I got my start, I guess you could say when I was in diapers. My dad took me to my first monster truck event in New Orleans Superdome in 1989, I believe. I was born in '85, so do the math. I've been into this stuff for a long time, but
Yeah.
I've always been a gearhead. I've always turned wrenches on stuff growing up, and by the time I can start driving and get myself around, I would just go to monster truck events, specifically Monster Jam, and
Yeah.
just get in the mix and volunteer my help. And fast forward nearly 25 years later, I'm depending on it now. So
That's awesome.
28 countries, almost all 50 states doing this
Wow.
stuff. But
It's
Dragon has
taken
been
you
my
far,
ride.
far and wide.
It's unbelievable. I'm still a big kid at heart. One day I'll grow up and get a job, but my toys have just gotten a lot bigger, I guess.
Yes,
But
yes, I would say so. Yeah, so speaking of toys, Dragon, what is so different about Dragon? Sounds intimidating.
it's wild. It's one of the wildest bodies that the trucks have on the circuit. The body costs like $30,000. So if that tells you anything, how extravagant this thing is, it's got fire coming off of it. It's got spikes. I, I don't even know. I know that it's hard to see out of at times because there's so many spikes going on, but the
Really?
kids love it, and it's pretty cool to go in the store and see the Spin Master diecast collectible of the truck you drive. It's almost like seeing yourself in the store. It's like,
You
hey,
got
that's
to
kind of
pinch
cool.
yourself sometimes. That's
Yeah,
incredible, but it takes
yeah.
a lot of hard work though to get there. So take us behind the scenes. What is training like, and how do you go about perfecting stunts? You know, it seems like a really physical sport that requires a lot of coordination.
It is. We're always developing new driving techniques, new ideas, new stunt ideas, but the training is right there at the event. We don't get a whole lot of practice. Sometimes you just got to wing something and hope for the best and then try to perfect it from there on out. A lot of my learning comes from right there at the event itself.
It sounds like it's very physical and there's a lot of physics that are involved. Do you
Yeah.
have simulators? You know, NASA astronauts can't go into space until they've sat in a simulator. So do you have the same thing for monster trucks?
I know it. There is such a thing out there that does exist. And actually, I'm getting ready to fire it up and have some coffee and try some stunts on the simulator. But yeah, the technology out there is crazy anymore. But what we could do with these trucks, I always joke about anything a dirt bike can do, we
Yeah.
can do in a Monster Jam truck.
Well, you were talking about the die casting yourself in plastic, essentially, and it's all about the fans, right? There are people that just absolutely love monster trucks. So, do you have any moments, a favorite moment from your fans?
Absolutely. I've got, of all places, probably my number one biggest fan, aside from my family or my wife, of course. I
Oh,
have a huge supporter all the way in Australia. I mean, this guy and his whole family, they'll send me Australian lottery tickets for Christmas and a Christmas card. I've sent him some of my most winning driving gloves. And so we've made friendships over the years, excuse me, with some of our diehard fans.
that's
But
fantastic.
coming back to Charleston, I love going out in the water and seeing the marinas and having good food. And I've made a few friends with some of the restaurant staff there that remember
Sure.
me every year.
Well,
It's been a
we
great career.
we can't wait to host you, and we want you to stay safe up there in those monsters. So Championship Series East, this is happening the weekend of March 27th. Make sure you get your tickets. Go have fun. Don't forget the earplugs. It'll be a great time. Thank you so much, Cody, for joining us.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
We'll be back after this.